Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, the number one Vikings fan extraordinaire, Adam Boyer. Today I have a special guest with me. It is the famed political analyst, my cousin, Luke Boyer. Me and Luke, both in our senior year in school, both consider ourselves
Junior
year of school. Both consider ourselves football knowledgeable, maybe not experts, but I'm not an expert as if you've watched this channel for any significant amount of time. Today we're just going to be talking some football. This is episode 1 of the Adam Boyer podcast. Somewhat frequently, along with my regular analysis videos and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. Let's get right into the video. We're going to start off with the first two games on Saturday. First one, 4:30 p.m., the Bengals and Titans. Earlier today, it was reported Derrick Henry officially activated off the IR. Luke, your prediction for this game?
I would say it will be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side, but I would expect to see the Titans pull it out. They've been rather consistent, more so than the Bengals, and I think they're just a slightly better team.
Yeah, the Bengals do have their hot streaks and cold streaks. I am interested to see how much of a workload he gets, because it is his first week back in forever. And remember, he had when the season ended, I think he was 5th in the league of rushing, and he missed the entire second half of the year. He was on pace for over 2,000 yards and probably would have beaten out Jonathan Taylor for the rushing title. Yeah, I think that's going to be a great game. I am going to go with the Bengals, actually, just for the sake of some diversity here. 8:15 Saturday, 49ers and Packers. Your prediction for this one?
I don't think that one's going to be close. I think we have a good team versus, honestly, what's not a good team. Not without getting into the weeds of the statistics and the predictions and all the expert analyst stuff. It's a good team versus a bad team. I think the Packers just have more weapons. I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely a better quarterback than Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And I've just not seen that much to give me confidence in San Francisco's defense this year either.
Yeah, they've definitely been up and down. Nick Bosa did clear concussion protocol, so that's big. Packers' offensive line is getting healthy. Now, however, here's a fun fact. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against the 49ers in the playoffs.
He also needs a haircut. Badly.
Yes, he does. We need a picture of that up here to show some people. Okay, get that off the screen. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going with the upset here, and it's because I want to. I think Deebo Samuel is going to go off for at least 150 receiving yards, at least 50 rushing yards. I don't want to sound like Cynthia Freyland here. I don't want to get in all the he's going to go for 50.5 yards and all that. But, yeah, I think the 49ers, I think their defense is going to step up to play. I think Rodgers is going to play a nearly flawless game because he always does. It's kind of frustrating, actually, especially being a Vikings fan. Yeah, so but I don't know why. I just have this gut feeling. I think it's going to come down to like a Robbie Gould game-winning field goal, maybe in overtime or something.
Keep this in mind when the 49ers get absolutely destroyed on Saturday night, what he said.
Okay, moving on to Sunday, 3 o'clock p.m. The Sunday games are by far the best. NFC, Rams at Buccaneers, and this we'll get to in a minute, Bills at Chiefs. I think both these games have the potential to be better than the Super Bowl. What are you thinking about them?
Okay, both of them are good teams. Good teams playing good teams.
Talk about Rams and Buccaneers.
Yes, but both games, but particularly Rams and Buccaneers. I'm slightly biased because I am a massive Tom Brady fan. I also like Rob Gronkowski, but I think the Bucs have played a little more consistently than the Rams consistently well. Now the Buccaneers have had their ugly spots, losing to the Redskins and almost losing to the the football team, and almost losing to the Jets.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Are both with the reigning Super Bowl champs. That is very embarrassing. But I think the Buccaneers will pull it out, but I think it could very well go either way. And I think if they do pull it out, it's going to come down to the final minutes, and that's where I think Brady's fourth quarter magic will come in.
Yeah, that could happen.
But if it does come down to that, I think the Bucs will have it. One thing they can't do though, they've done this a couple times against the Saints was one. If they fail to get the offense running early, they won't get it running at all. And we've seen that a couple times during the season, so they have to get the offense running early. If they're sluggish and slow and rusty, as we've seen this year, they will not be able to come back enough to make a game of it.
If you had told anyone earlier in the season the Saints were going to score 9 points and beat the Buccaneers that game, everyone would have laughed in your face. Okay, so I'm not trying to do this here, but I'm going Rams. Here's the thing. I think Matthew Stafford is going to carry over that hot streak, and his first playoff win he had. He got to the playoffs a couple of times, but he was always so good in Detroit, never had an actual shot, certainly never at the Super Bowl, usually not at the playoffs. They were always relying on him to get them to 9 wins and a wild card. I think Stafford's going to continue his hot streak. And what you were saying about consistency, yeah. Stafford was a lot less consistent than Brady. Most games, even if Brady didn't put up a ton of touchdowns, and most games he did, he wasn't throwing a ton of picks. And in the few games that he did throw a lot of picks, he offset it with more touchdowns. So, yeah. But the Rams, I think, have the better running game, and I think they have the slightly more consistent defense. But now, that's arguable. Neither defense has been lights out this year. However, Tristan Wirfs getting injured for the Buccaneers, that was huge.
That is going to hurt.
Yeah, he's very unlikely he's going to come back, and his backup will likely a lot of the game be lined up against Von Miller, who has at least 1 sack in 5 straight games, including the playoffs. So, yeah, at least I hope I'm not lying. I think that stat's right. But yeah, so I'm going to go Rams here in a tight one. Again, I think this could come down to a game-winning field goal. Maybe, I like to think, maybe a last-second failed Hail Mary attempt by Brady. If you don't know, I'm probably the biggest Brady hater in the world, one of the biggest. So we were at odds for years. He's still a Patriots fan though, so I'll give him for that. Give him that. He wasn't a bandwagon fan. Okay, we need to wrap this up. Bills at Chiefs. This is gonna be a hard one to just wrap up. I'm gonna go first on this last one. Actually, no. I'm gonna say on 3. I want to see if we can finally agree on one. See what team we're going with. Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Chiefs.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'll give my reasoning first. I think the Chiefs. Okay, see, these teams are almost mirrors of each other. That you really can't give an explanation for this. It's really almost a coin flip. Only thing is, the Chiefs lost by 18 points back in week 3 or 5 earlier in the year, and I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to get their revenge. The Bills have struggled against them in the playoffs. Chiefs knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Was the AFC Championship game? Yeah. I think the Chiefs are going to do it again. Personally, if it can't be Washington or Minnesota in the Super Bowl, I root for the Chiefs because I want Patrick Mahomes to break all Tom Brady's records. Sorry. Okay.
Which will not happen because he's not going to be playing until he's 42. But
I mean, he could. He's under a 10-year contract now. We'll see. Anyway,
he's wrong.
Controversial stuff later in later episodes. Luke, your analysis of the game, and then we'll wrap up.
So I picked the Chiefs, and the reason for that being that Patrick Mahomes has always played like we're used to seeing Patrick Mahomes play. Even the big games that the analysts said he did bad in. Take Super Bowl 55 last year, for example. That admittedly was not a great game for the Chiefs, and it was not especially the final score was just not pretty for the Chiefs. But if you look at the effort he made, those 3rd and multiple yards,
and
where
those
he
two
was
final passes he made at the end of the game, like vertical, horizontal to the ground.
He literally running like straight out, and he slung, and that was both of those times the receiver dropped what should have been a catch, and that both of those times he was also scrambling in the pocket and staying out of trouble in the backfield for 10 seconds plus each time.
The Chiefs couldn't run, and when they occasionally tried, they got stuffed, and then every other time they tried to pass because they were down, Mahomes ran for his life every snap.
And that's another thing that I think killed him is that the Chiefs did not have an exceptionally good offensive line that year, but Patrick Mahomes, just straight talent. This doesn't make him the best quarterback in the league, but straight talent, I think he's the most athletic, talented quarterback in the league to date, and he has been for, I'd say, 3 years. But just the fact that they have someone like that, and also someone who's a motivator like that on their team, is I think what's going to put them over the top. Again, they were not very consistent this year starting out. They found their groove.
8 straight wins or something.
Yeah, found their groove, and they're back to the Chiefs we're used to seeing. and I think that just the feel that they've had for the past several weeks is going to put them over the top because they've got their offensive weapons. They've got a stacked receiver core. They've got McCole Hardman, Hill, Kelsey, who's admittedly not fast, but he can power through people, run over people.
And DeMarcus Robinson and Byron Pringle, they've played
true.
well too.
That's true. Byron Pringle is major sleeper, I think, that nobody pays attention to. Very underrated. But I think the Chiefs have it. I think it could be a good game, but I don't think it's ever going to get nerve-wracking for the Chiefs fans. I think they'll always have a reasonably comfortable lead. Yeah. And I don't think it will be that much of a nail biter. Although it definitely won't be a boring game. But I don't think the Bills are ever going to come within where they have a serious shot of taking over and holding it.
Yeah, I think this is another one that could come down to the wire myself. I do want to talk Bills real quick. Josh Allen, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Now I am interested to see if you take him and put him in a different system, like with a little bit less talent. I'd be interested to see how he did. But right now, I'm still a skeptic. But I'm not a disbeliever in Josh Allen. That's a difference. Devin Singletary, if they can get him running like they have been toward the end of the year, like they were doing earlier in the year where Josh Allen would pass 45 times a game and Devin Singletary would get 6 runs. When they are consistent with Singletary, he usually gets over 100 yards rushing. They've got to do that against this Chiefs D, especially the Chiefs D that is strong against the pass, weak against the run, and their offense certainly can do it. If I'm the Chiefs, my number one priority is double-teaming Stephon Diggs. Because when he's covered, Josh Allen has to look other places. And in the red zone, got to be concerned about Dawson Knox.
Keeping in mind also that Allen uses his legs on occasion as well, and as does Mahomes. But Allen especially is not afraid to use his legs. He's big enough that he can shove people out of the way. He's also fast enough though to be a serious threat.
Just physically, he's a freak. Definitely. Okay, everyone, we're going to wrap it up right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There should be a couple of videos, a subscribe button appearing somewhere here on the screen. Thank you for watching the first ever episode of the Adam Boyer podcast. Special guest Luke, he will be back shortly, probably in the next episode, until I get some more guests lined up. But thank you so much for watching. I'm the Vice fan, and I'm out of here.